Hello, today we're looking at problem number 1 on page 12 of your textbook under the lesson Points, Lines, and Planes, which is 1-2. When we look at this particular problem, if we look right here about naming lines and planes, points that lie on the same line are called collinear points. And points that are in the same plane are called coplanar points. Now, in problem number 1, it wants us to name certain points and certain lines and certain planes. What are the two other ways to name QT? Well, QT is this line right here. So when we look at this particular line, another way to name QT could be TQ, which is just the other way. That's one of them. Or if you see this little small letter down here, M, that simply means that we can name the whole line based on that small lowercase letter, which is line M. So there's a couple of ways that we could name that line. Now, the B part. What are two other ways to name plane P? Well, planes are named by 3 points that are coplanar, that are all in that same plane. So one of the ways would be RQV, which is the R, the Q, and the V. They're 3 points that are not in the same line, but in the same plane. And then another one would say you could call it plane RSV, which is RS and V, which are these 3 points right here. Okay? And then thirdly, the question is, what are the names of the 3 collinear points? What are the name of the 4 coplanar points? So let's deal with the collinear first. Collinear are lines that all points that all lay in the same line. And in that case, that would be the R, the Q, and the S, which is why that's listed there. And then if they're all in the same plane, which is in plane P there, that would be the R, the Q, the S, and the V. So that's why they've listed those there. Okay. Now, let's look at the points here. If I can get my pen to work. If we look at the got it, what are two other ways to name RS? Well, we could call RS QS, or we could just call it line L. What are two more ways, B part says, what are two more ways to name the plane P? Another couple of ways to name it would just be to put the letters in different orders. We know that we have RQV up here and RSV already. So we could say QSV, which is Q, the S, and the V, or we could call it QRV. There's just, as long as you name 3 non-coplanar points, that's enough to define a plane. Letter C, what are the names of 3 other collinear points? Well, we named the ones that were on plane P, but what about the other one? It would be this line right here. So we could name that TQN. And that would be 3 other collinear points. So a T, a Q, and an N. What are the 2 points that are not coplanar with points R, S, and V? That means what ones are not in the same plane as the R, the S, and the V. And the only 2 that are not in the same plane as that is this T up here and this N down here. So the 2 letters would be the T and the N. Hope this is helpful to you.